Hi everyone and welcome back and happy Sunday. Is it a Sunday? No, it's not. It's Saturday. Guys, I've been away for a while, so I'm coming back and yeah, just getting into it. So today's live is all about you, grandparents. Now, grandparents in family law are the unsung heroes. They're the unsung heroes because, what tends to happen is that they're the group of people that tend to be left out when it comes to child contact issues. They're the people that often are the support network. They're either helping finance the cases, or they're the ones that are helping emotionally support their sons or their daughters who are having trouble through family law. But often they're the group of people that in family law tend to get left out. Many grandparents are not seeing their grandchildren, and often this can lead to a huge letdown and a huge emotional void. Now listen, we've got the Children Act 1989, and within that it says that a child should have a meaningful relationship with both parents. But here's the thing, that those children's parents have grandparents, and having that important relationship with their grandparents is huge. They're going to be offering children a unique offering that parents don't have. So they give in terms of parenting a really different perspective. Now there's been a lot of talk recently. I say recently, it hasn't been recently, it's been there since the dawn of time, it feels like. I mean, I certainly remember helping a grandparent out, gosh, maybe 14 years ago. Probably feels like, yeah, it was about 14 years ago. And what had happened, oh hang on, the cat got stuck. The cat's got stuck, hang on. Please hold, for God's sake, the cat's stuck. Bloody hell. Do you want to see the cat? No. Anyway, cat got stuck. This is what working with animals is like. So yeah, back in the dawn of time, what it feels like the dawn of time, I certainly remember helping grandparents have access to their grandchildren. It was quite difficult. They had social services, the involvement. Actually, in this particular case, the grandchildren to be put into long-term foster care, and sort of helping them out, and they put themselves forward to be primary carers for these two little children. The case went to court, and of course they won. They got the children, and that was a lovely happy ending. Grandparents kind of get caught up for lots of reasons. They're either don't get to see because mum and dad can't agree a schedule of contact. Note how being diplomatic here, but they struggle to agree a schedule of contact, and they're just the people that tend to get left out, but they are so vital and they are so important. Now quite recently there's been a lot of talk about grandparents' rights. You guys know I'm not one for labels, and when people talk about there's no such thing. So myth busting number one, there's no such thing. You don't get the Fathers Act 19 whatever, and guess what, you don't get the Grandparents. What you do get, however, is the Children Act 1989, and within the Children Act you should have a meaningful relationship with both parents, and those parents have an extended family. So like I said, grandparents are super important. They tend to be the ones that are trying to resolve, they're the intermediates that want to resolve matters, because they're slightly one step removed from mum and dad's issues. So they're the ones that will want to try and resolve matters. They want to try and be the intermediate. Whether that goes down well or not, the grandparents will automatically be predisposed to offer that mediating help. they're also the ones that in a court case tends to be left out. So if there are children involved, whether there's social services involvement, whether there's whether mum and dad are struggling to agree contact for the children, it's often the grandparents that tend to be left out. And grandparents, right, tend to go through this period of mourning, but it's a weird kind of mourning because, you know, their grandkids aren't dead, and sometimes there may be a scenario where for whatever reason mum or dad will be having contact with their children, aren't able to join mum and dad with within that contact. So grandparents have had the ability to make an application for contact with the grandchildren for years. Okay, for years. It's just not spoken about it. You know, over the years we have dealt with loads and loads of grandparents have a relationship with their grandchildren. Now, bit of tech here. When a grandparent doesn't have a relationship with their grandchildren and they want that relationship, they can't just apply to the court and ask the court. The reason for that is because grandparents, you don't have mums generally tend to get parental responsibility because they and dads would usually, the rule, but usually get parental responsibility because they're on the birth certificate or dads, if you're not on the birth certificate, you don't have parental responsibility, get it. But for the sake of this conversation, grandparents, dads, if parental responsibility, and mums are the ones that usually have parental responsibility. Nobody else. So if you're a grandparent and you're thinking about, gosh, how do I get to see my children, my grandchildren? I can't get help from mum or dad, and you're kind of at a crossroads and you're going to need to do a little bit more paperwork. The court sets an additional hoop for you to in there, seen it, and we've got the court order. So there really isn't nothing that we haven't seen before. So grandparents, you will notice that in this coming week, we as family law assistants are going to be dedicating some time to dealing specifically with you. So if you are struggling to have contact with your grandchildren and you're then like crazy, then get in touch, because, you know, with the arm around the shoulder we've got the t-shirt. And whether your issues your son or your daughter, there has been social services involvement and you want to sort of step up and sort of say, look, you know, grandparents here, we can help, or whether it's just that mum and dad can't agree contact, and get in touch. Like I said, grandparents, I'm loath to use the word grandparents' rights because, like I said, there is no act that covers grandparents, nor is there an act that covers mums and dads. But there is the Children Act 1989, and that's what the courts are going to be using, and that's what gives you right, or the child, a right to have a relationship with their grandparents. Okay, so guys, if this is you, drop some questions down below. Of course, we're here to answer them. But if you want some help or you're struggling with that, then get in touch. Grandparents, this is for you. All right, take care, guys. Mwah.